will be spicing up their holiday dishes with a lot more than salt and pepper this week. How all those exotic seasonings ever got to our kitchens in the first place is the story Martha Teichner has to tell.
At McCormick, the world's largest spice company in Baltimore, they've been bottling cloves. Between now and the end of the year, Americans will buy 2.5 million ounces of cloves. You think that's a lot? Last year, we consumed more than 110 million pounds of pepper. Look at all of it.
Pepper is really what started globalization as we know it. I would call black pepper the black gold that really started it all.
Michael Crondall is the author of The Taste of Conquest, about the spice trade.
Black pepper is a berry. It originates in India, and it grows on these kind of vines that will grow up basically just about anything.
As far back as 1200, the Venetians were satisfying Europe's craving for spices, pepper particularly. They ferried the Crusaders to the Middle East, bought spices while they were there, and resold them back home. The profit from pepper was staggering.
It could be anywhere from about 500% to 2,000%.
Columbus, you may remember, was after spices when he discovered America.
He wants pepper, he wants nutmeg, he wants cloves. And he comes back to Spain saying, look, I found pepper. Except what he's found is crushed red pepper in this case, or capsicums, or chili peppers.
Exactly the sort of peppers you'll find at Ted Blue's stall at New York City's Union Square Market.
We have a lot of peppers that came from Peru, from Mexico, and really all hot peppers have the name chili.
All chili peppers originated in Central and South America. The Portuguese carried them to Africa, then on to the Far East. And then, in the 17th century, the Dutch muscled their way into the spice trade. The Dutch East India Company, the world's first multinational corporation, wanted a monopoly and literally murdered anyone who dared to resist.
They essentially wipe out the entire nutmeg-producing islands, which are in Far East Indonesia.
Imagine genocide over one of the ingredients in pumpkin pie. So what exactly did people eat way back when?
This is the oldest cookbook that we have, and this is apparently the first edition that exists in the entire world.
It's Roman by someone known as Apicius, a treasure of the New York Academy of Medicine.
The Romans ate a lot of pork. That was their big favorite. And they mostly seasoned it with a kind of a fish sauce, something called liquamen. And they seem to have used a lot of pepper.
The invention of the printing press in 1440 meant mass-produced cookbooks and new fashions in food.
By the late Middle Ages and the Renaissance, you have a very highly developed cuisine that depends on mostly the sweet spices. Cinnamon is the it spice of the Renaissance.
Why cookbooks in a medical library? Spices were often sold as medicine. They still are.
And although there are certain qualities to cloves, for example, cloves are full of something called eugenol, which is an anesthetic. In olden times, particularly in the Middle Ages, cloves were considered to be a powerful aphrodisiac.
Not all of the supposed benefits are bogus.
Recently, they've been doing very serious scientific studies and have discovered that there is something in pepper, something called piperine, which is the stuff that makes it hot. The piperine makes other drugs work more effectively. Turmeric is this fabulous yellow spice. It's what makes curry powder yellow. They're finding in mice that it shrinks back cancer tumors, breast cancer specifically.
But watch out for nutmeg.
It's a hallucinogen. If you eat enough of it, you will actually start tripping. There are apparently some very nasty side effects, so I should warn everybody.
And in this Manhattan spice store, we discovered a secret, the truth about cinnamon.
Crush it in your fingers. And what do you smell?
A much lighter, more sweet kind of smell than what I normally think of as cinnamon.
This is real cinnamon. Now this isn't cinnamon. This is a related spice that's called cassia.
This is what's sold as cinnamon. So 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 10 times out of 10.
In the United States, I would say 99 times out of 100.
You would get.
You're buying cassia.
Who knew? And who knew spice consumption would more than double over the last 20 years in the United States? It seems our appetites are becoming as global as the spice trade.